Hi, here we are with Alana sitting in her office, and what we're going to do is find out a little bit about her very exciting and interesting story of getting to the point of being a mother of two. That's right, two beautiful children. Alana first told me this story a few months ago and was very, very excited about sharing it with you, simply because it emphasizes the importance of lifestyle change, for starters, and also helps to open our mind a little bit to the possibilities of alternative treatments. Now, I'm a wellness educator. I have a background in conventional medicine. I am not a herbalist. I cannot explain or vouch for or tell you anything about how herbal treatments work. However, I do believe we should keep our options open, and we should indeed go to qualified alternative practitioners whenever we make that choice.
That's right.
Right. So Alana, you tell your story.
Well, before I actually got into the position that I did, I would never have been one that would have remotely thought of going to a Chinese herbalist. That was just like, you go to the doctor, you get your prescription, you get your medication, and you go to the pharmacy and you take it as prescribed. Always make sure to take it as prescribed and not cut short when you're feeling better. That's what I was told, that's what I did. However, after 7 years of marriage and no babies, I began to get okay. If I had got married maybe at 15, I would have been okay. 7 plus 15 is fine. But I didn't get married at 15. So going for that length of time, I began to get more and more concerned, and my options started to get a little wider than just going to the traditional doctor. And even in that, I had to go to several doctors until I found the best doctor in the world, who I still go to. So I'm not at all saying that doctors, is anything wrong with doctors. As a matter of fact, thank God for doctors.
But you're speaking about obstetricians and gynecologists.
That's right.
Not specific
That's
field
specific
of
field
reproductive health.
Right,
yes.
Correct. So that my aunt, who is a dietitian, first told me, Alana, you have these concerns, you have your endometriosis, you have polycystic ovarian syndrome. Why not try to change your diet? And that's the first time that I said, wait a minute, diet? I thought I was supposed to take Zoladex injections, or I was supposed to take whatever they told me to take to treat with these two systems, take the necessary glucophage medication to control the polycystic ovarian syndrome. What are you talking about diet? So I started to look. She bought some certain books for me to show that milk is one of the chief offenders if you have either of those two conditions. Yeast and wheat as well, according to where you lie, can also affect it negatively.
So just to ask the question, these books were books written from a nutritionist point of view?
They were written from a nutritionist point of view.
Right.
If you have PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome, what should you ingest to control it as much as possible naturally, without the traditional tablets that they would give you, or injections, as the case may be. So I said, okay, fine. And I realized that in ceasing the milk, I began to notice slight changes for the better. I said, okay. I then stopped eating the bread as I would. And anything to do with fat, I started to cut out.
Fat?
Fat, meaning oils. Cheese definitely is a no-no.
Oh, that's dairy.
That's dairy as well. Okay. But cheese in particular, if you have endometriosis, you should not eat cheese at all. And anybody who knew me would know that prior to reading and becoming aware of that, I would be munching on cheese, the chunks of cheese and salad. You could call me a mouse at the time, I would just be munching on cheese. When I realized that
you're a cheeseaholic.
I was a cheeseaholic, I cut it off. So I followed up with that, with juicing and drinking more water. Because when I was about 24 years old, I met an internal doctor who was a family friend. And she said, Alana, if there's one thing I could tell you, just like that, she just gave me the information. A lot of my patients come to me at the age of 40, not before. But it seems as if there's something magical about the age of 40. And most of the ailments and issues that they have, I have found, can be traced to lack of water. Most of us are pressurizing our kidneys you're not drinking enough water, which has a spill-off effect into a whole set of other
So
things.
this was a doctor of
This is
internal
a
medicine.
proper internal, certified, qualified medical doctor that is well known in this
Internal
country.
medicine.
Internal medicine. So that stuck very deeply in my head, and I said, okay, so as part of becoming better, I'm not focusing on the baby, I'm focusing on me. Let me try the water. So there was water intake, there was the juicing of vegetables, because you're not supposed to mix fruit and vegetables. The only fruit that you can, which is apples. So
when you were juicing vegetables separately from fruit?
You can't juice fruits and vegetables together except for apples. Apples can go either way.
What was the theory behind that?
I don't know what all the juicing books that you look at say that different parts of your system digest different parts of it differently, and it kind of...
Perhaps it's for ease of digestion.
Perhaps.
Perhaps. You know, in terms of what they are.
But I didn't go that deeply to know the science behind it. I just decided, okay, so it would be like celery, carrots, cucumbers, tomatoes, which is really a fruit. I learned that late in my life. Tomatoes.
It depends. I think for the cook it's a vegetable,
right,
and for the scientist it's a fruit.
Right. So I was going on the scientific part of things.
Right.
A little bit of parsley that I would mix a little pinch of ginger. My husband stopped me from the garlic because that was having certain negative effects, so I stopped the garlic. But even when he would be out of the country,
the garlic is so good for you.
Garlic is very good. So it's in that way that I began to recognize that God in His wisdom gave us all the stuff that we need to be healthy. It's just that we don't use what He gave us.
So you took it as a wake-up call?
I took it as a wake-up call.
Taking better care of yourself?
For taking better care of myself. And then I followed that up by going to this lady who does Oriental medicine just to deal specifically with the issues that I was having.
Oriental medicine, Chinese, Ayurvedic?
Chinese. It was Chinese specifically. She happened to be a black girl from Jamaica, so that was surprising because I was expecting to see a Chinese man or woman, but she was
probably expecting to see someone bare.
That's right. And all the Chinese man is what I had in my head.
Yeah, that's the stereotype.
Right. I was guilty of that.
Yes.
And she checked me out and gave me a few of the herbs, and I would say that, so for me, my ingredients to success, to having my two wonderful kiddies, would be the change in my lifestyle, because I was exercising for the first time too.
For the first time
For the first time ever.
Not since primary school, not since secondary school.
Well, in primary school I would run around in the yard. In secondary school I was on the football team. But to say that I was ever an exerciser, I never was.
So as a young professional, this was the first time you'd gotten back into exercise since school days?
That's right.
Yeah.
And so it would have been a moderate exercise, nothing, just 20 minutes, twice a week. It wasn't anything big.
Wow, but it was more than before.
More than before.
Yes.
The drinking of the water, the change in my diet. So I would only like have grilled fish or grilled chicken, lots of vegetables, a ton load of ground provisions. Because you find that the sugar conversion with the ground provisions is less than even an Irish potato, or definitely not white rice.
Or pasta.
So pasta, rice were out of my diet. It was ground provisions, vegetables, and fish.
Right.
And in 6 months I lost 25 pounds.
Now, wow, this is not, in 6 months, I lost 25 pounds. Wow, without actually saying I'm trying to lose weight here.
Without saying I'm trying to lose weight, this is just changing my diet. So I had to get a new set of clothing, shoes. I didn't realize you put on weight on your foot, so shoes were slipping off my feet.
Wow.
And I got to the point where people were commenting on my skin, my hair, even my nails were growing. It was like, ooh, everything was like, ooh. I was in a different place. And I would crown off everything by saying that I had a very deep spiritual experience during that time as well, where I was understanding God to be the author of my life. And the fact that I was taking so long to have kids was part of the plan. Because I have always been one that, once I put my mind to something, it happened. You write common entrance, you pass for your first choice, you go to one of the best schools in the island, you get prizes while you're at that school, you become head girl at that school. Everything that I wanted to do, I would get. And then, boom, I bounce up to this situation where you want it, but you can't get it. The doctors tell you.
It's a new experience.
Yeah, the doctors are telling you, well, we think you should consider adoption. I will never forget when the doctor told me that.
Oh gosh, you must have cried.
I was like, but he in particular that's a whole other conversation.
Okay, we won't have that conversation.
Which we wouldn't have now. But to me, I have a lot to
Yes.
say about bedside manners and that type of
Yes,
stuff.
we won't have that conversation today.
So once I got to the point of recognizing that it's all in God's hands and it's not in my hands, and even if I went to the best surgeon in the world, if God did not say it would happen, it wouldn't happen. So I got an epiphany of recognizing that God He scripts our days, He scripts our seasons, He scripts our moments, and He scripts even when or if we have a child at all or not.
That's right.
I began to relax into His will.
Right, yes. And you know, stress, mental stress, and the failure to relax is definitely associated with a bit more difficulty in getting that conception happening.
That's right.
That's definitely one of the observations.
So I was traveling and relaxing and eating right and getting good compliments from everybody.
What about
everywhere.
rest? Because as a busy professional, I don't know how much rest was part of your routine.
Part of my work to get to the point that I did involved taking time off from my work.
Right.
I asked for a little hiatus.
Okay.
And I left for a while and I came back.
You're kidding?
Yeah.
Wow.
And during those times I'd be in deep prayer asking God, okay, did I do something wrong?
So you took a sabbatical from your profession.
From my profession.
To spend more time
with God, myself. I had no kids, so once my husband was out of the house, it was me, I and myself, reflecting, meditating, talking to God.
Did you become more peaceful, more accepting of whatever
It
God's
took-
will might be in
That
this
one,
matter?
I did get to that point, but I would not want to give anybody the wrong impression that it was poof. It took years to get to that point. But when I actually got to that point where I was thanking God for the situation that I found myself in, and I went to the Chinese herbalist in March, and I was pregnant in August with my first child.
March, August, wow.
Yeah.
And you've been trying for how many years before you
I
actually?
was married, when
Yeah.
I had Gabby, I was married for 9 years, trying for 7.
Right.
So
And you'd had treatments besides drugs and injections.
lots
you
of,
had
I
done other
had lots of
things as well.
surgeries, lots of
Okay.
surgeries.
Yes.
So even in having her, the doctor was concerned that it would be a high-risk pregnancy because
Yes.
I was tampered with so many times to deal
Yes.
with all of the issues that
Yes.
I had. That he was very concerned, so I was under general anesthetic. So I didn't see her until everybody else, my whole
Had already
family
seen
had
her.
already seen her. But that's okay.
That's right. After so many years.
After so many
You're not
years.
complaining.
I'm not complaining. And I decided, I said, okay, I've had Gabby, that's her name. I'm happy, I have my daughter, I always wanted a girl, lots of cute little clothes, stuff to put in her hair. Oh, I was happy. Said, okay, let me start back taking my Chinese herbs just to regulate myself. And when Michael came,
Unexpected.
when Gabby
Wow.
was 9 months old, Michael came.
Amazing.
So that I was in a complete and utter state of shock, not to mention panic, because all the drama in having my first child is like there
You
was
weren't
none
sure
of
that you were ready for this again.
No, I wasn't even sure what was going on when I saw the pregnancy test. I was like, okay, I don't understand what these 2 lines mean. It was like that, you know. So that
You had to double check this.
no, I don't know. Many times
Yeah.
I literally, no lie, I was rubbing my eyes and I'm holding it back. And I can't believe this is what is happening because, of course,
Yes.
you're a professional. You have a very tight schedule. I had employers at the time.
Employees.
Employers.
Employers.
I was
Okay.
still working.
All right.
Now I'm self-employed, but at the time I had employers and I was on bed rest with the first one. So to come back after all that
Oh
time.
my gosh, you were anxious, excited, looking forward to getting,
getting back
on
into
the job.
right.
Yes.
And by the time I turned around twice, I was back in maternity clothes. But hey, I'm not going to say anything but to God be all the glory and all the praise. So I think at the end it was a combination, but with a very clear understanding that if He did not orchestrate it to be, it didn't matter what I did, it wasn't going to be. So I think I'm a much better, wholesome person. Getting back now into the groove after having a second child, 2 children in 2 years, it takes a toll on you, but I'm committed now to the same, trying to be moderate in what I eat, how much I eat, I'm starting back to attempt an exercising regime, and all in all, I think that I'm just working to becoming a better person. Better in terms from the inside out is what I call it. So better spiritually, emotionally, and then physically. So your mind and body have to be in sync to me to function appropriately.
Alana, I must thank you for what I believe is a very beautiful, inspiring story. And I'm pretty sure that it will be a source of support and encouragement for many other women out there going through the same thing. I'd like to encourage you to don't lose focus when it comes to sleep, rest, relaxation, exercise, family time, proper nutrition, because at the end of the day, these are critical things for your long-term health. So thank you so much, Alana. Thanks for sharing with us.
Thank you.